order for us to know how persecution affects us today, we must know how it has manifested itself across history. Beginning around a year after Jesus' death and resurrection, the Apostle Stephen was stoned to death because of his faith. In fact, nearly all the apostles paid the price of their life for their faith. 64 AD, the Roman Empire, led by Nero, began the first recorded systematic torturing and murder of Christians. This was the first time a governing body enacted the persecution of Christians. Around 100 years later, Christians were killed in mass quantities for refusing to renounce their faith. It was not uncommon at this time for Christians to be robbed, assaulted, or even stoned for their faith. 250 AD, all Christians were commanded to sacrifice to Roman gods or face immediate execution. The persecution continued until Constantine came to power in 300 AD and legalized Christianity. 717 AD, the Pact of Umar was enacted. While giving Christians certain rights, it brought a large list of restrictions in many countries. This pact forbade Christians from publicly displaying crosses and rebuilding churches after they were destroyed. 1300 AD, Tamerlane, a ruler at the time over Persia and Central Asia, conducted massacres of Christians on a wide scale in Mesopotamia, Persia, Asia Minor, and Syria. 1600 AD, the Emperor of China banned Christianity for over 100 years. 1850 AD, in Madagascar, the Queen prohibited the practicing of Christianity. It's estimated that over 100,000 died as a result. 1915 AD, Ottoman army troops enacted a large massacre on Christian populations in Anatolia, Persia, and northern Mesopotamia regions. 1917 AD, after a political change in Russia, tens of thousands of churches were destroyed or repurposed. This resulted in the murder of over 500,000 Orthodox Christians in the 20th century. Beginning in 1983, Christians in Sudan were under attack. Some estimates put the number of those martyred at over 1 million, with many more displaced. Present day, Christians are facing growing levels of persecution on the continents of Africa and Asia. There are many countries where being a Christian is punishable by death, several where it is punishable by significant time in prison, and even more where attempting to convert someone to Christianity is a crime. For as long as Christianity has existed, there have been those persecuted because of it. While Christianity can often seem like a safe choice to us, there are many who live where identifying with Christ means putting your life in severe danger.
Christianity is a very prominent religion in America. It is a religion that is quote-unquote preferred and is obviously not discriminated against. But this is not the case for other countries. In other countries, such as Japan, India, Egypt, people get killed just for being Christian and following their religion, and their church are often targeted. There was a report of what started as a peaceful worship turned into a violent hatred crime. The article, Hundreds of Christians Subjected to Discrimination and Targeted Violence in 2020 in India, states, the Evangelical Fellowship of India recorded 327 instances of discrimination and targeted violence against Christians in India in 2020, including 5 murders, at least 6 churches burned or destroyed, and 26 incidents of social boycotting. There has even been instances where people had to flee their home countries in order for them to practice their own religion. For example, Egypt. In the next video, it is going to go more in depth on the religious persecution in Egypt and the Catholic Church.
In just the past 2 years, tens of thousands of Christian Copts have left Egypt, and many others want to leave, but they simply cannot afford to. Why they want to leave is no mystery. On New Year's Day, 2011, the Two Saints Church in Alexandria was bombed, leaving 23 Copts dead and 97 injured. In recent years, dozens of Coptic churches have been attacked, many burned to the ground. In August 2013 alone, the Muslim Brotherhood and its supporters attacked and destroyed some 80 churches.
Although we don't see it and sometimes the media does not cover it, there are people who are willing to sacrifice everything that they have for their religion and follow who they. At the end of the day, it is very important to respect other people's religions and respect what they follow and keep spreading awareness to other countries and the people suffering for following their respective religions. It looks so ugly and you literally can't read anything because iMovie freaking sucks, but those are my credits, shoddy. How long is this? Okay, anyways.